Hey guys, welcome to the channel. It's Adam with ND72. So today's going to be another feature of, this is going to be the second car that I purchased to make some profit off. As we showed in the last, well not the last video, but a couple previous videos, I'm trying to buy some cars to flip them, or maybe part them out, or see what I can do. So I've been searching the internet. I've been searching Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp, eBay, anything I find to find a good deal of kind of a broken Mercedes, or something else fun and European that I go work on and try to make a little bit of a profit to help support my other go fast cars. Because right now, I don't make that much money on it, and this is something I could hope that I could take a car, fix it, flip it for cheap, and make a couple $100, maybe $1,000. Or if I buy a car that's just a big POS, then I just part it out, make some money. So I'm going to be showing you what car I got right behind this door. Whoop, door almost fell down. Don't worry, we're okay though. It is a Mercedes. Bam. It is a W209 CLK 500. It might look black, but it's a blue car, as you can kind of see. It's got, basically, I think it's called like bone or cream interior. The interior is almost like perfect on this car. There's a little dirt here, but nothing really. But holy potatoes, it has a wood steering wheel, it has an aftermarket stereo that's a touchscreen. It's got not too many other factory options. It's got heated seats. It's black in the trunk. Back there is a subwoofer and amp and all that stuff. It's pretty clean. So when I bought it, it came with these rims. These are 18s. I don't really know if I like them. I might put some like factory monoblocks back on. But the body, no rust, pretty good. Paint, a little faded, 20-year-old car. But man, this thing is pretty effing clean on the inside. Like, pretty nice. And then in the trunk, it's got a pretty okay sound system, I guess. It's pretty clean done. Yeah, there's leaves and dirt all over. So they got this whole little mixer thing over there. It's got a, oh, if you can even see. Yeah, it's got a sub over there. A little mixer. Like, you still have your full trunk. But it's supposed to have a pretty badass sound system, which it sounds pretty good. And everything's nice on the car. It's a 500, like I said. Straight factory, except for the radio. The guy said he did a lot of like maintenance to the car, so we're going to check it out. So I got the car pretty cheap. It has a couple issues to it. So it has the rear brakes. I think the rear brakes are holding it up because when you let off the gas or let off the brake, the car won't move, and it's kind of like something's dragging. So I'm going to check all the brakes, see if like a caliper's dragging, or the common thing usually if it's the rear, it might be the e-stop is just not disengaging. So we'll see what that is. It fires up. It drives. It has a little bit of here and there. It's got a little bit of a coolant leak. So I got to find the coolant leak, but it's got low mileage. And the interior's great. The body's great. Might need a little bit of a buff and polish, but pretty nice. So we're going to put the car up on the rack and let you see it. So the brakes, that spins freely. That's definitely not nothing. Let's check the passenger rear. Oh yeah, that one is definitely stuck. Let's check the driver rear, and if both of those are stuck, I'm going to stop even looking. I'm going to go with, it's something with the e-brake. Oh yeah, definitely e-brake. Just for good measure, let's check this front one. That's good. All right. So next, we're just going to pop the hood, look over the engine really quick, remove the airbox, and see if I can find this coolant leak. Hopefully it's something easy. All right, so all the rear brake stuff was, you see how they put this speaker wire for all the sound system? When I got it towed over to my house, the guy shoved the e-brake all the way down and just didn't release all the way up. So all I had to do is just pull it up, undo that, and now it's perfectly fine. So we got the airbox removed. Doesn't really look like there's any really oil leaks. Looks pretty good. He's got a battery, like a 4-month-old battery in there. So we're going to fill up the coolant reservoir, and we're going to see when we fire it up if it starts peeing out or if it pees out immediately. We're not going to use coolant. We're just going to use water just because I'm just looking for a leak. I don't know. Can you hear that on camera? Hold on. I hear it leaking. Yep, you can see it drip right there. So it's leaking somewhere like this area. So right now it's leaking with no engine running, no nothing. So that would mean it's nothing really water pump or anything front related. And since it's so far in the back, I'm thinking it has something to do with the heating system, because that's where all that runs. So we're going to start ripping apart like the cowl by the wiper and all that, and see if we can see down there and try to get a better look. Alright, so we got the hood in service mode, so we're going to start by taking these wipers off. We're going to try to remove over here so I can see in here, because there are some heater hoses in there, if I remember. These are pretty easy to come off, just 13s. Try not to lose anything. And then just wiggle. It's an old car, so I'm just going to be wiggling this stuff out, and then take this all out. Alright, we got the wiper cover off, and holy poop, that sucked to get off just because it was so old. So to remove it, it's going to be a few T25s, which are right here that are in the center. I think it's got to get it off this trim, so I'm going to have to fix this trim because I kind of bent it. It was just too far on there. So now we're going to get a flashlight. We're going to check all over here and see where it's coming out, because I'm pretty sure it's somewhere along here. So I don't know if you can see down there, but right down there you got a puddle. So we're going to work our way back. Just trying to follow the line. All right. Oh, I can see it. Hold on, let me see if I can zoom in for you guys. It's like right. Okay, if you look right there, where's my finger? Look literally center of the screen. There's a hole that's going to that piping right there. You see it? You see the hole right there? That's right where it's pissing out. So let's see where it's rubbing and how hard it is to get that pipe out. Okay, it's the next day, and since what we found was the piping, it was a heater hose piping. I already got it from Mercedes. They had it in stock. It was basically a $50 part. Very inexpensive. I just had to drive an hour to go get it. So we're going to be replacing that, and then we'll take the car for a test drive. So as you can see right here, they have like an indentation. This is a brand new part from Mercedes. They have an indentation right there, and that's right where I'm 90% sure mine rubbed. So maybe the factory, originally they had it like a whole like bubble over there, and this is a known rub area, so they might have fixed it with this updated part. Not sure. We'll figure out when we rip this one out and see what it looks like. So to gain access to this, it looks like I got to remove the whole wiper assembly. So I'm going to start taking off all these bolts and pull it out of the way, because that is almost impossible to get to with all that rigmarole. So we're going to pull that out and then start going at it. Alright, so to start, I got my impact. These are just 13s, so we're going to start popping them out one at a time. Pretty effing easy. Looks like you also got a 10 mil right down there. I also got to grab that one. It looks like right here is another 10 mil that I'll pull that up because it's pretty wiggly right now. I'm going to make sure I don't have any other clips because I don't remember exactly how to do this. Alright, now this should lift right up. Yep, that comes right up. I do got to unplug this harness over there and unsnap it from there. That way this should swing right out of the way. Now that's that completely swung out of the way, you could actually see down there. Right there, look at the center of the screen. You can see a big old effing hole right there. So 100% that's what's leaking. And now I have all this access for fun and games. So I'll start putting the new part in. Oh yeah, that definitely was leaking out. So what it looks like, it was leaking all over here, going into the cab, and then filling all around, all up. So that is 100% our leak, or at least one big one. So we'll start pulling this out. It doesn't look too bad. It looks like it connects right here to the HVAC, and then pop right out over here out. So we'll start pulling it out and get it good. Alright, it looks to remove that, it should just be these little clips over here. We're going to get my needle nose pliers, and then it goes all the way down to the firewall over here, or I'm just going to remove this piece. And then this is one of those stupid, I can't remember what they're called, but they're those pop-out clips where you got to put it, where you got to pop them out, kind of like on my E55. Let's focus camera, and get that side out. So I decided just to remove the center piece, just because the ones way down are too hard. So a little trick I use is vice grips on these, and then you just walk them out, and it's not that bad. So we'll just walk out the toes. Great, the light fell. Alright, next you got to get the piece on the firewall. So it's kind of a crappy angle, but you see where my screwdriver kind of goes? So there's going to be a little I'll try to get this angle. So right here where the screwdriver is a little clip that you put in here and you pop out. See how it's coming out? I'm gonna 100% put the camera down because I don't want to lose this clip, but you see how it's kind of coming out right there? And it'll pop right out. That's what the clip looks like. Yeah, so the clip basically, you got that, and that's poking through, and the clip kind of grabs right onto there. So we should be able to pull that one out now and compare. So this is the piece that you pull out. Helpful hint, this is the piece attached to the hose that goes in the motor. This thing was so in there, I just took the whole assembly out and then just kind of broke this away because a lot of this was so brittle it fell apart in my hands. And then this piece. Be very careful, don't break this. Make sure you clean out the grooves. This is the one that snaps in. So now that we're out of the car, you could actually see the hole that got worn right through. And then this was so brittle, it just broke apart in my hand. So that's cracked. Keep the gasket, and now we're going to move on to all the new parts. So as you can see, old versus new. And I don't know if this is, like I said before, this little indentation, because that's right where it rubs. So Mercedes might have figured this out and then built this in there and then added more material down here, because that's what it really does look like, because this rub mark is almost like perfectly there. This might have been a failure point that they found out. So everyone check your heater hoses. If you ever got like any coolant that's leaking where it looks like it's coming from like the head area, probably not. Alright, we got the new one all in, all the clips. And then I kind of like just upgraded the little clip back there. My original upgraded because those spring ones effing suck. So it's all in there. It's nice and tight. Let's fill it up with water and fire it up. I'm going to leave all this stuff off just to let it run to make sure there wasn't any other leaks. Because you know the whole thing. Once you fix one leak, more will come. So we're just going to fill it up with hose water right now. I'll do a complete flush, but I just don't want to keep dumping coolant. So it's a moment of truth. So you remember last time it was already leaking now? Let me get a flashlight and just double check that. So far not peeing it out. So let's keep filling it up all the way and we'll check underneath the car. Alright, looking good because it's holding it. Before it was like peeing it out almost like immediately. Let's check under the car. No little drippies. That's just a puddle from me just cleaning all the other stuff. But before it was actually dripping. Nice. Alright, now we're going to actually fire it up. I'm going to go wash my hands because this interior is so effing clean. We're going to fire it up, put some gloves on before I get in the car, and let it run and see if I get any other leaks anywhere else. I'm hoping that was the only one because that was a huge one. And the way it was looking, I'll show you later, but when I was actually filling it up, it was coming into the cabin, and I made the carpets a little bit discolored, which I could easily clean them. So I know the guy was not trying to drive it like this because clearly, like me just doing it that one or two times, dumped water inside like the carpet over there, and the carpet was like mint when I got it. So that 100% my fault, but I'll get a carpet cleaner and clean that easily up. But let's go fire this up. First, wash my hands. All right, hands all washed. Water is still in there. Let's go inside the car. So clean in here. All right, let's get the key. Should fire up really nicely. Fires up. All right, I'm gonna let it run for a little bit and go look for leaks. So it's been running for about 15 minutes, cap off, just been bleeding it out. Not pissing coolant anywhere, like still plenty of coolant. It's getting up to operating temp, so it's gonna let it keep going. I think we got it. Okay, so now that I'm 99% sure we found out what the coolant leak is, we're gonna lift the car up and try to examine the rear brakes. So I'll take the wheels off and I'll try to mess with the e-brake cable up on the front and see if I could release them. All right, take it for a nice little test drive. Got the AC blowing. It's pretty hot out, 91 degrees. Car seems like it's doing all fine and all that stuff. No real pulling, no steering wheel shake, no nothing. We'll do a quick little pull and just like kind of like run it through the paces. Right, we'll floor it, just do a little pull just to see if anything crazy or stupid pops off or breaks. Seems to be pulling pretty good. Nothing really crazy. All right, we'll pull it back in the shop and everything should be good. So we got the CLK 500 running and driving. It's perfect now. Well, 90% perfect. It's so good. I don't really have anything else really wrong with the car that I really want to fix. I mean, it's not like a perfect brand new car, but still low mileage, great looking interior. Body's good. It's got that cool blue. Granted, it's pretty dirty right now from sitting outside a little bit. But next up, we're probably going to be doing a quick little wash, maybe a detail. Those headlights, that's something that really bothers me, so we'll polish up those headlights. Maybe do one or two little things, but this one's going to be a quick sell. So I'm going to be posting it up online really soon. And if anyone wants it, if you see this video, hit me up. The market on these, I kind of know what they're going for right now for this low mileage. So I'll probably sell it pretty cheap, but someone make me an offer. We'll see what it goes, and have a great day, guys. Don't forget to throw a comment down and throw a like. Lady versus Swiffer. Swiffer wins.